Welcome back to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show. Thank you for being with us, allowing us to be part of your day. Find out more information about those coupon codes and the companies that allow us to bring us to you each week. The WisconsinVegetableGardener.com underneath the Season 9 tab at the top of the page and the Money tab for coupon codes. Holly, let's go to the hotline and bring in our guest for this week.
Jess is known as the Naked Gardener. She shows her gardening and canning adventures on YouTube and other social media. She has a passion for growing tomatoes, and she also sells lovely canning labels. Welcome to the program, Jess.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to not only entertain and educate Holly and myself, but all of our listeners. And let's start with this. How did you, why are you considered the Naked Gardener? Like, what, is there a backstory of this, inside joke? What came about that title?
There is a really good backstory, but the reason I'm the Naked Gardener is because I show it all. I show everything from seed to table, no secrets in between. But the backstory is I just have like a really funny personality by nature. And one year I saw these naked man bathing suits on the internet. And my mother-in-law has a pool at her house. And I said, I'm going to buy that and wear it to my mother-in-law's pool. And I did multiple times that summer. And I've been a gardener for 10 years. So my friends were like, oh, you should be the Naked Gardener. And I'm like, you know what? I think I will. And I did. So here we are.
So you said you've been gardening for 10 years. What got you into gardening? It wasn't something you found as a child, but later on in life?
I had never planted anything in my life until we moved into our house. And I've always been someone, I have ADHD, so I'm constantly looking for a new hobby. And I said, you know what? I think I want to garden out here. So my husband built a fence and we bought a tiller and I started planting seeds and I just never found a way out of it.
And that's a story we hear a lot of people tell. Oh, I didn't plant anything, didn't have an interest in it until I bought a house. And then it became interesting or almost a necessity for me to explore this gardening thing.
For me, it was something to keep me busy, but the way of life that I live now is, there's no going back. I cannot even imagine the life I would live if I didn't garden. And the funniest part is I don't even eat fresh tomatoes. Me or my husband, neither one of us eat fresh tomatoes.
So it's all canned, or do you not grow tomatoes at all?
I actually canned 165 pounds of tomatoes this year. I can everything. Okay. I grow Roma tomatoes to can, and I grow beefsteaks to give away. And so all of those were given away to my family and friends, and everything that was a Roma tomato I kept and put in a jar.
So did you get into canning because of gardening, or how did you, what made you decide to
put the two together?
Put the two together.
My passion is starting seeds and growing, but canning is a byproduct of the things that I grow. Like I said, I don't like tomatoes, and I'm an all or nothing kind of person. So when I started, I had 25 tomato plants, which produced a lot of tomatoes. So very quickly, I figured out how to can. But when I came along, my parents and my grandparents, they didn't can. I was the youngest. I have an older sister, and then of the grandchildren, I was the youngest on both sides of my family. So no one was canning. I taught myself how to do it all from Pinterest, tutorials.
For people who want to get into canning and is like, boy, I just don't know how to find the time. Do you have any advice on that with a busy schedule? How can somebody kind of manage canning just a small amount?
The best way to do that is to determine what it is that you want to can and what it is that you are going to consume the most of. For me, we consume the most tomato products. That's why I grow so many tomatoes. But getting started, fruit is really the easiest thing. Making jams and jellies is so easy. Especially when you use fruit that has high pectin, you don't have to worry about adding anything to it. You can do it all natural with just lemon juice, fruit, and sugar.
Now, you speak about saving seeds. Is there one particular type of seed you like and enjoy and look forward to saving? And is there one that really is a challenge to you?
Honestly, tomatoes, my whole world kind of revolves around tomatoes. They are definitely my favorite to save and to grow. But one seed that I have that is imperative that I save is a family heirloom of mine. And this is one of my most wholesome stories that I have about me. When I moved into my house and decided I wanted a garden, my grandma said, well, I think I have some seeds in my freezer. So she got them out and gave them to me. They were her father's seeds from his freezer that she retrieved in 1977 when he died. I was born in 1987, so these seeds were 10 years older than me, at least. And when she gave them to me, I planted them, and they all came up. And so it is very imperative every year that I grow these seeds properly and that I save the seeds so that I can carry on the tradition for my family.
Are you aware of what variety they are, or is that a mystery to the family?
They are a white half runner green bean. They are not stringless. You have to string them. But I do not know the name of them. The bag said Hodgen beans, and I have done hours of research, and I can't find anything on Hodgen beans.
And it may be one of those lost varieties that don't exist anymore in the commercial world, and your grandfather knew what he was doing. And well, he made that was just the way of life. Save everything, save everything, save everything. That was that generation.
For sure. The way my grandmother grew up, if they didn't grow it or raise it, they didn't eat it. So I know that they were seed savers themselves. There really is no telling how old these seeds are. They likely date back generations before my great-grandfather, but that's the only information that I have.
Boy, if those beans could talk, that would.
I know.
That's really cool, though. Not everybody can, say they have like literal heirloom seeds.
The true heirloom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever I tell the story on social media, I could sell millions of them if I could produce them, but people don't understand that this year is a great example. I planted those seeds 3 times before I actually got sprouts, not because of the seeds, but because of the weather conditions. So I can't sell the seeds because if I were to sell them and then my batch didn't produce, I would be out of luck.
Right.
Yeah, that would feel very risky. So you have a great sense of humor in your videos and in life. It's clear on your YouTube channel. Tell us about your YouTube channel and the name of it and what people can expect when they go there.
My YouTube channel, the name is Naked Gardener NC, and it's very important to put that NC behind the name because you may find someone else doing a totally different thing, which I get a lot of looks, But my YouTube channel is about teaching people how to grow and preserve their food. I love to be silly and, do these videos. I've done music videos in the past and Naked Gardening Day videos, but my true thing is trying to teach people how easy and fun it is to plant the seeds yourself and be able to grow food in your backyard. So my YouTube is kind of cultivated around just how-to videos. My Facebook and TikTok and Instagram have a lot of trendy videos, but YouTube is just for the how-tos.
So you make these gorgeous canning labels. They're very artistic.
Thank you.
How did you get into that? Do you have a background in art, or is it just something you were like, I'm going to start making these, and it just kind of came naturally to you?
My mom's mom is an artist, and my dad's dad was an artist, so it is in my blood to have these quality genes, and I'm so artistic by nature. We own a large format printing business as our real job, as our paying income. So whenever I started canning, I made my own canning labels. And for years, everybody that came to my house complimented them. So now I sell them to the public to do that as well.
Let's talk about the wild pumpkin vine that you've got growing. What's the story behind that? Because many people may not know, but there is squashes that would naturally grow up trees and grow in trees.
Yeah, it's pretty fun to watch. She's died back multiple times and come back and climbed the tree some more and then died again. My neighbor and I, we're friends, and we have a piece of property in between us that's just grown up woods. And last fall, we both put pumpkins out in the woods. And in the early spring, we had someone come over with a piece of equipment, and they just kind of chewed up the land in between us, which in turn scattered the seeds. So we have wild pumpkin vines out in our woods.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see that.
They're pretty cool. I've picked one so far. I know that there's about 6 out there, but there's a lot of poison ivy at this point that's in the way of getting to them.
Whenever you're doing your canning, I mean, you know how to do the canning. You do it right and do it safe. What do you see as the biggest mistake people make when they are canning that makes you cringe?
The biggest mistake that makes me cringe is when I see people online teaching new canners how to rebel can. And I won't lie, there are a few recipes that I have. Some would argue with me about being a rebel recipe, but I try to do everything by the book, because when you are learning how to can, you can be a rebel canner if you want to, but you need to know the basics and you need to understand food science first. It's very important that you don't create a jar full of bacteria to feed your family. So it's very cringy for me to see newcomers in this area take someone who's just giving them recipes they likely just made up, and then they're going home and making these and thinking that it's a good idea.
Yeah. The rebel canner, for people who are not aware, that's what it means. They just throw stuff in a jar. Well, we're not following a recipe. We'll seal it up and throw it in the canner, and we'll take a guess and see what happens.
And sometimes they can stuff that doesn't even make sense, like rice. Like they're canning cooked rice, and it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
A lot of things that are canned, you have to worry about the thickness of them. Like, you can't can chocolate syrup, for instance, because it's too dense. The heat can't pass properly through it during the canning process, and that's why it's not safe to can it. Is it going to be fine? Probably, sure. But if you're following the rules, that's not okay. The National Center for Home Food Preservation is where every person should go for canning recipes. They are a trusted source where you can find any information you're looking for.
When it comes to, are you going to live or die if you eat this? Well, you'll probably live. I don't like that odds. That's very. I want more. I want more higher probability there.
And something that's really easy for people to do is to buy pH test strips that you can dip into your product before you can it, just to make sure you're in the safe side.
Definitely. And I'm glad you mentioned the National Center for Home Food Preservation, because I'm always talking about it when we talk about canning, and it's nice to have somebody else say it, because, as you know, people don't always believe you. So, with that,
sure.
Gifting season will be here soon. You know, people are thinking about what they're going to give to people for the holidays. Do you have any favorite things to can and that you like to give out as gifts?
I do, and there is a variation every year just depending on what hobby I'm circulating around at in the wintertime. It changes each year. But this year I'm going to be giving away herb salts, vanilla bean paste, and extract, hot sauce, and I'm also making friendship tea. And I made friendship tea last year, and everyone loved it, so I'm bringing it back again this year.
Well, Jess, we greatly appreciate the time you've offered us. Again, if you will remind our listeners where they can find you on the internet and your platforms.
You can find me on the internet under Naked Gardener or Naked Gardener NC. I'm active on all platforms. I love meeting people and answering questions. I live for the questions. So please reach out to me if you have any gardening questions at all.
Well, Jess, we thank you very much for your time and the information you've provided Holly, myself, and all of our listeners. Thank you so much.
Thank you.